this video I'm going to show you how to do simple broomstick lace stitch. I wanted to do a scarf for my daughter to match her hat, and I wanted to do something lacy and thin and quick. So I researched a lot, and I found this stitch, so I want to share it with you guys. To start this stitch, what I did in the beginning, I did a row of double crochet stitches. You can actually start with just a chain, but I'm planning to do double crochet stitches at each edge. When I'm done, I'm just going to do this whole row, so this way the scarf will not curl. I noticed if you do this stitch, the fabric ends up curling on the sides, so I'm going to prevent that in the end. But anyway, to do this beautiful and simple stitch, this is what we're going to do. I saw a couple ways of doing this. Instead of doing a crochet in a chain, I saw some people just pull the first loop, but then at the end you're gonna have to crochet a chain anyway to give it a nice end, and then you won't have symmetry. So I decided to do the same thing on each side. Okay, so for this, to do this stitch, why it's called a broomstick, you need a special accessory. You need something, well, usually a circular something is used with diameter of 1 inch. I chose to use a ruler. This is almost 1 inch. It's actually a little bit bigger. I think it's 1 1/25. But anyway, this would do. I'm actually thinking of getting a broomstick set because I discovered way more stitches. So anyway, let's start. You have your chain, then you're going to crochet 6. I mean, you're going to chain 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 in the beginning. Now, you're going to turn, and now into each stitch, we're going to go in and pull our yarn. And for this, we're going to need our ruler. Okay, it's a little bit uncomfortable to hold this both thing and do it, but let me show you. First, I do my first chain, and then I start with the ruler. This is my first stitch. You're gonna go into it and pull your yarn. Okay, now this is what I do. Take this out. Actually, you're gonna need a lock too. To secure this first loop here, I put a lock on it, because for now I won't be using it. Okay, so now get your ruler and put this on the ruler. The ruler will make sure all the loops are the same height. So now it gets a little tricky. You go into the second stitch, okay, pull your loop, and with your hands put it over the ruler. Okay, and kind of pull it tight, make sure all the loops are the same height. Now just keep doing this till the end of the row. This is our next chain here. We're gonna go in both loops here. Okay, make sure it's kind of hard to see. Okay, now pull your yarn. It's actually easier if you hold the ruler with your knees, kind of, and then your hands are free just to hold the fabric. Otherwise it gets uncomfortable. Okay, so just keep doing this. You keep pulling the yarn and your loops will become horizontal like this. So let's do one more. You go into both loops here. Okay, get your yarn. Okay, and put it on a ruler, pull it tight, and keep going. I'll meet you at the end of the row. Okay, so we're almost finished our row. I have 21 stitches, counting this first chain altogether. And this would be my last stitch to go to. And instead of the loop like this, I do chain 6 again to match this side. Okay, so you're gonna go into this last 2 loops on top here. Alright, let me make sure I do this right. And it's kind of uncomfortable to hold this thing in. Okay. Okay, so now we're just gonna simply do chain 6. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, now we can take this off the ruler, turn this around, and what you're gonna do, you're gonna take each loop one by one, and you're gonna do a slip stitch all across these loops. Don't do it too tight, okay, otherwise the whole fabric will be all scrunched up. You don't want that. So just keep doing your chain, kind of. And make sure, don't pull your loops, out. Just hold the fabric. I hold the bottom of the loops here so they don't get pulled, so one is not shorter than the other. This is a simple straight broomstick stitch, I guess. I didn't really find the name for it, but this is the simplest broomstick trick you could do. While I was learning how to do it and doing it, I had so many ideas using this technique, what other things you can do. And my other idea was you could use, instead of the ruler, you can take a cardboard and make some kind of a template. I was thinking to do like a triangle. This way your loops would be going in a triangle. I was thinking about wavy things, so I'll try to do that, and I'll do a video about it if it works. Okay, now you're gonna understand why I had to lock this loop. Now we get to open it. Okay, this is our last loop. Now we get our last loop, put the hook into it, and get your yarn and go through both loops here. Kind of like a single crochet, I guess. But anyway, so to get this pattern, you'll be repeating these 2 rows. Okay? So to continue doing this stitch fabric, we're going to chain 6 again. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You're going to turn. Okay. Go into the first stitch You gotta make sure you do the right one. Otherwise, if you're going like too early, then you'll add one stitch, you know. Okay, here we go. You pull your loop. Now you're gonna lock this one with a lock and continue putting your loops on a ruler or a broomstick or something like a cylinder which with at least 1 inch diameter. Okay, or you can even cut up a piece of cardboard that's 1 inch thick to use for this stitch, and continue to pull up loops of yarn. Was a little time consuming in the beginning, and then you just get used to it. Okay, let me just go into this stitch here. And I'm a tight knitter, and sometimes that backfires. Okay, so pull your loop. Okay, put it over your broomstick or whatever, your template, and keep going. Okay, so this stitch works pretty fast, and you can make your fabric pretty fast, and it's really beautiful. I think it's a good for a nice thin scarf, or I even saw a top, like a summer top made with this stitch. So there's all kinds of possibilities. And again, this fabric curls, and I'm definitely gonna do a side stitch. I'll do a row of double crochet stitches to match this, and also at the end I'm gonna do the same. Okay, so this is how to do a straight, simple broomstick lace stitch. Happy crocheting!